Today on Boardball, it's too cold to think, I'm still stuck in the house, so let's learn a new game. Hello and welcome to Boardball. My name is Ed, and today we're playing Replay Baseball. Now, I had never heard of this game until at least one person mentioned it in the comments to previous Boardball episodes. See? Sometimes reading the comments is a good thing. So, over the holidays, I finally ordered a copy, and now we're going to play it. Because I was impatient and ordered it over the holidays instead of waiting a month or two, I have the 2016 cards instead of the 2017 cards. So, I've decided to replay the matchup from the Stratomatic Basic Rules episode. Link in the description. So this is a game between the Washington Nationals and the Chicago Cubs. Let's do this. I'm still a little hazy on this game myself, considering this is only the second time I've ever played it. But each at-bat involves these three patriotic dice. USA! US! The red die tells you which column to read. The white die tells you which row to read on the batter, and the blue die tells you which row to read on the pitcher's card. You get a number on both of those, you add them up, and find the result in the appropriate column that's on this guy right here. So in other words, if you rolled a 1 on the red die, the result is coming from this column here. So that's the basic gist of it. There are a few other things that we'll encounter as we go along. But for now, let's begin. We begin with Michael A. Taylor against Jake Arrieta. Okay, so I rolled a 4 on the red die, so we're going to be reading the fourth column. Now this is the interesting column on the pitcher's card, because this is the one where the fielders really get involved. In strat terms, think of this as a ground ball or fly ball X. So I rolled a 3 on the white die, which has the number 5, and I rolled a 6 in blue, so that says second baseman. So now, if I remember correctly, I check the second baseman's fielding prowess. And the second baseman is Ben Zobrist, who is a 3. So I believe I add 3 and 5 together. That makes 8. And therefore, Michael Taylor grounds out to the second baseman. I'll probably find out later if I did that wrong. So, 1 down for Jason Worth. Oh, here we go again. That's another 4 on the red die, and a 2 on each of those two dice. So that's a 1 there, and 2 means it's the second baseman again. Hey, Ben Zobrist is busy today. Alright, so that's a 3 plus 1 is a 4, so he also grounds out to the second baseman. And so there are 2 out, and nobody on for Bryce Harper. Alright, that's a 1 on the red die, that's a 5 there, which is 1, and a 1 here, which is 30 plus. So the 30 plus 1 is a 31, which doesn't enter into it. He walked him. So, man on first, and 2 outs for Daniel Murphy. Alright, so that's a red 5, so that's that column, and that's a 3 on each of the blues. So that's a 4 with an E, so that's an 8. Let's see, so it says an alphabet letter beside the batter number indicates the following. If the batter reaches base safely and the next base is open, which it isn't. So that's 4, 8 with runner up with bases loaded. Yep. So you walked him too. So now there are 2 on and 2 out for Anthony Rendon. Alright, that's column 4. It's 2 there, so that's going back to the second baseman. There's a 3 there, so that's a 5, and 5 and 3 is 8. And by the way, the infield is, no, infield's normal because 2 out. And he also grounds out to the second baseman to end the inning. Dexter Fowler v. Stephen Strasburg. Oh, here we go again. Column 4, and that's 5, that's shortstop. 5 also, that's 19. This could get ugly. So 19 plus shortstop rating, that's 20. So now suddenly we get the umpire involved. He's gone for a play, roll 1 die, refer to charts and umpires, gone first base, got there, and called him safe. So that is an infield hit for Dexter Fowler. Which makes sense, I mean it is Dexter Fowler. He kind of runs well. Chris Bryant. Now, this is something I missed the first time around after a while. Now, because there's a chance for a double play, the infield, by default, is in the halfway option. So, if I roll into column 4 again, I consult infield halfway instead of infield back. Oh, and just like that, I rolled a 3 on the red die, so never mind. So that's a 2 there, which is 1, it's a 5 there, which is 3, so that's 4. And that is a fly out to right. 1 out, 1 on for Anthony Rizzo. Alright, so that's the 1 column there. That's the 1, that's 10, that's 4, so that's 11 on column 1. That is a single up the middle. 2 on, and 1 out for Ben Zobrist, who of course made all the outs in the top of the first inning. Okay, so that's the 2 column. 6 there, which is 2, and 2, which is 55. So 56 on column 2. So that is a looping drive to the outfield. So I believe, all right. So that's a 6. That is a right fielder, and we are checking. So right fielder is Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper is a 4. The outfielder's defense rating is higher than the Rays number besides the 55 on the batter's card, which it is. He has made a fine running catch for the out. Runner is on second and third. Advance 1 base. The speed is higher than the outfielder's arm. And the outfielder's arm is 5. Don't like those options, but let's check it anyway. Let's check him anyway. Dexter Fowler, nope. He's not going anywhere. Alright, so 2 on, 2 out. So the infield returns to just normal back. So that's 2 on and 2 out for Addison Russell. Alright, so that's 2 column again, and that's 6 on both of them. And wait a minute. We have hit one of the red squares, which means that that die roll is changing. So again, that's a 56, and now I roll this for the park factor. It's a 4, so now it's a 4, which means once again we are testing Bryce Harper. Now they're tied. Now the numbers are tied. If the outfielder's defense rating is not higher than the Rays number, the ball falls in for a double. Runners advance 2 bases, scoring from first if speed is higher than outfielder's arm, or with 2 outs. Both of these guys score because there's 2 outs, and it's 2-0 Cubs. Man on second and 2 out for Jason Hayward. Column 2 again. That's 2 there, that's a 55, and that's 56. So we're doing the same thing again, but, well, that's easy enough, because that's 2, Harper's a 4, and he makes that catch. And that is 1 inning in the books. So after 1, it's 2-0 Chicago. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? I wanted to check that. Just go and check that thing right there. I'm all but certain I'm doing that right, but I want to check that for sure. Yep, I did it right. Yay. That makes me happy. Going out for Ryan Zimmerman. Uh-oh. Column 6. This is where things tend to get ugly a little bit. But, it's a 2. That's an 8. But I also have a feeling Jake Arrieta, I think this is written like that, is that he is a crazy ground ball pitcher. Extreme ground ball pitcher. He pitches 2 shaded squares. Yep. Whenever the red die indicates the original player result in column 6. Yep. Yep. That's actually a ground ball. Michael Taylor. Column 5. And that's a 5 here and a 6 there. So that's a 3 and a 5 with a K next to it. Pitcher has a K beside his column 5 grade, which he does. And the result is any out with runners on base, score the play is a strikeout. Well, there's no runners on base anyway, so whatever. So that's a 5, and that's a 3, that's an 8, and he walked him. Now, there is an asterisk next to him. I believe it has something to do with stolen bases. Aha, here we are. So then I roll a die against the pitcher's hold rating. If the die is higher, he steals. If it's not, the runner holds. Oh, he died it. So the runner holds. He's not going anywhere. Column 6. 4 there, 4 there. So it's 59. That's a 62. 62. Line drive hit to right field. Okay, so the blue die says 4, so that's the right fielder. And chance for extra bases. So Fowler makes it to first. But now once again we're testing Bryce Harper. Something about this just doesn't seem like a good idea to keep testing Bryce Harper, but we keep testing Bryce Harper. And it says roll 1 die against the outfielder's defense rating. If the die is higher, score a double. So no, 60. No, sorry, it was a 62, wasn't it? Yeah, I just read that wrong. That's a 62. Reading that wrong. I know what I'm doing. Actually, that is a double. Sorry about that. Read that wrong. That is totally a double. Can you tell this is only my second time playing this game? That's a single. I would say the no-hitter is broken, but Jason Worth actually did that in the last inning. One down for Ryan Zimmerman. Column 3 here, row 4 there, that's a 2, row 3 here, that's a 5, so that's 7 on column 3. And that is a single to left. It also says here, check with third base coach for any extra base attempts. But, well, this guy on third, the guy on third on a single to left. I don't know if I really like that option. But we'll check Solaire's arm. What is Solaire's arm like? Ooh, a 3. And the guy who's on third is Daniel Murphy. Check his running. 4. Check third base coach. Throws home. Yeah, speed minus arm. So it's 4 minus 3. It's actually a 1. So I think what we'll do is, so it's still +1, but I'm going to play it safe in this case. That's a 5, which is XP plus. Oh, he's safe. Murphy scores. And extra base plus means the trailing runners may move up on the play. Roll 1 die. Any runner with speed equal to or higher than die roll moves up at next base open. Batters must have speed higher than die roll to move up. That's a 5. You can pretty much guarantee neither of them do. Zimmerman, no. And Rendon, I mean, probably not. Nope, that's a 4. Alright, so they don't go anywhere. But the run scores, And the Nats are on the board. So first and second, and one out for Danny Espinosa. Another single. So he advances. Runner on second base may try to score, and defense may try to, roll die versus runner speed. So that runner there is Rendon, and Rendon is a 4. Die is higher, he is out. If not higher, he scores. Alrighty, here we go. 5! He is out at the plate! So now what we do is we roll all 3 dice, and we read the red and white, red 10's place, white 1's place, against that fielder, the shortstop, Espinosa's error rating. Okay, that's a 56 if the red-white roll is not higher. So we're checking that against 56. 51, he's safe on the error. And the reason why we rolled the blue die is that if the blue die was a 6, then it's a 2-base error instead of a 1-base error. Fours. I rolled everything was a 4. Uh-oh. 44, that's a ground out to the pitcher, so that's bad. So he grounds out to the pitcher, and he may have to come out of this game. So I roll a die, and if it's a 5 or a 6, Espinosa stays in the game. It's a 2, Espinosa comes out. So, that's bad. Suddenly we need a new shortstop. Wilmer Defoe? Sure, we'll give it to him. So Wilmer Defoe is now in the game, and the inning is over. Pinch hitting for Stephen Strasburg, Trey Turner. And that is a single. He is on. For innings 1 through 7, batter is caught stealing. Interesting. Let me look at that, because that's weird to me. You know what? He would steal. So, yeah. Good job, Trey. Jason Worth. 42 on column 2, and that's a ground out to short, and there is no thing there, so Worth is also injured, and he's out of the game. Trey Turner stays in the game, and is now the center fielder. Michael Taylor shifts over to left, and Worth is replaced by the next pitcher. We're getting all National League up in here. So now batting for Jake Arrieta, Albert Almora. Oh, that's column 6. So that's a 5 there, which is a 5, and that's a 6 there, which is a 9. He bets righty, so now we have to re-roll this thing. And that's a 2, which is now an 11. So that's an 11. 5 is 16. It is gone! Albert Almora with the solo shot, and it's now 3-1. That's column 1, and those are both 5s, so that's a... There's a cat. Hi. How are you? You come here. First and second for Ben Zobrist. That's column 1. That's a 6, that's a 3, that's 10, 13. Single up the middle with 2 outs. All runners advance 2 bases. So, Fowler scores. Rizzo goes to third. Zobrist gets the job done. And now, it's 4-1 Cubs. Well, that was a thing, wasn't it? We had everything there. We had a pinch hit home run. We had a bunch of singles. We had my cat jump on the table. All sorts of stuff. Check out this card. Look at this. Check it out. Look at all the blue on this. You see that? How crazy is that? I have, granted I'm super new at this, but I have yet to see a card like this. Ah, here we are. These special ratings, I found them. Extreme left-right split pitchers, so that's what this guy is. And shaded at the top of the card, top half of the card, grid shaded to match. When these pitchers are pitching, use the top half of their card against same-sided hitters and the bottom half against opposite-sided hitters. Got it! I can't not use RZEPCZYNSKI. Of course, now I have to spell it. Whatever. You've seen my last name. RZEPCZYNSKI. So here we are. It is the top of the 9th with the score Chicago 4, Washington 1. You know what time it is? It is time to bring out the closer. Aroldis Chapman against the bottom third of the order. There we go. Ryan Zimmerman. So that's a 4. Second baseman. 11 against the second baseman. The second baseman is Zobrist. That's a 14. That is possible error. So we do this again. That's a 65. He almost assuredly made the error here. Yep. He made the error. So Zimmerman is on thanks to Ben Zobrist error. Guy on first and nobody out. The infield halfway back for Wilmer Defoe. He's actually getting his first at-bat in this game. Column 3, 1 and 31. 32 on column 3. Line out to right field. Hey, good for him. He actually hit the ball. That's not fun to have your first at-bat in the game against the closer. And here we are. Trey Turner with 1 down. So that's column 5. That's a 4. That's a 1, so that's 5. Pitcher is a K beside his column 5 grade, and the result is any out with runners on base. It's not actually a grounder. It's a strikeout. By the way, every spot on column 5 and column 6 for Aroldis Chapman has a K next to it. So Michael Taylor is the last hope for the guy on first. Column 6. That's a 1. That's a 3, so that's a 37. Struck him out, and the ball game is over. So first impressions, it's actually a pretty interesting game. I like the fact that both the pitcher and the batter play a factor into the result of each at bat, much like dead ball and clutch baseball do. And Strat is about 50-50 pitcher or batter. And APA is, I think, even less so that. APA is really interesting because it seems to rely a little bit more on the fielders. I mean, this does too, but this you basically have a 1 in 6 chance at that. So super interesting like that. I like this thing. This thing's kind of neat. I like it. And of course, I like dice. You know that by now. There is a way to actually play this with 2 dice instead of 3, but I mean, come on, more dice the better. Dice. Yeah, I like that. All right, that's column 1. That's a 6. That's a 2. That's a 2. That's a 4. And the pitcher just struck out against RZEPCZYNSKI. There, we just did the thing. Thank you to whoever suggested this in the comments. I'm sorry I can't remember your name right now, but I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to doing a full episode of this with another player. So that's going to do it for this Cabin Fever edition of Boardball. My name is Ed. If you like what you see, you know what to do. Thanks again for watching, and whenever the snow clears, I'll see you in the bleachers.